What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Piscine Predator, and I'm back with that TPP True Crime Talk, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Before we jump into this topic, though, can you smash that like, smash that subscribe, and if you could, hit that share and send it out there for your boy. Let's get this growing. Come on now. Please help your boy out. Get this growing, right? All right, man. Let's jump into the topic. And of course, you know how to jump on and give my 2 cents on this topic, and that's that Idaho4, right? Old Coburger. And both I want to touch on the trial today, and then I also want to touch on the Dateline special. Now, let's just get the trial, because the trial was kind of, the whole hearing and whatnot. It was kind of boring. There wasn't really much that we were gonna, hear. I think most of us were just wanting to hear if he's gonna plead guilty or not. And most of us, I think, were pretty sure that he wasn't. There might have been a small chance that he, did plead guilty to take a plea deal. But I did find it interesting that he pled silent, right? And he pled silent, and a lot of people freaked out and started speculating on it, like, why did he do this, that? And it was like, it took about 2 hours for actual people that understand the law and why he would do what he did, and the fact that it wasn't probably him that recommended to plead silent. And it took all those lawyers and legal specialists getting on and be like, look, check it out, this is how you plea in this situation. And also, by pleading this way, he's not pleading guilt, he's not like saying verbally he's innocent, right? So it does kind of leave the door open a little bit in case he wants to plead, you know what I mean? So it was more strategic by his defense, I believe, than anything. I don't think he probably even had anything to do with that decision per se, besides agreeing with it. But I mean, I would hope he would agree with his defense attorney in a in a case where he could possibly, get the needle or the bullet. You know what I mean? So that really wasn't too surprising to me. I think I was more surprised on how crazy the true crime sector of YouTube went whenever he decided to plead silent. Like, everybody freaked out. Everybody that was following out live was like, oh my God, what does this mean? What does this mean? I'm just like, calm down, bro. Like, there's probably means, like, there's some kind of legal ramification behind it, like some type of legal decision behind it, and that's what it ended up coming out, being is, like, there's certain ways to plea in this type of case. And defense, yeah, it was just a defense call, and there was nothing crazy behind it, nothing, whatever. Anyway, so we found out that that's how he's gonna plea silent. There might be some possibilities behind that will come on that. And then we found out that they're gonna push the hearing for the gag order situation back. And then we're hearing already that they have a date, literally have a date picked for when this trial is going to start. And everybody thought, like, we ain't going to see this happen for another year or two. And they're talking about this is supposed to start in October 2nd, I do believe. So, unless defense has to file extensions, to prepare, better, it looks like we're going to see this popping this year. You know what I mean? We're going to close out the year, I believe, with this trial, which they're saying it'll be 4 to 6 week trial. If we're talking about 52 terabytes of information coming to the defense, that they got to go through 52 terabytes worth of evidence and information being handed over by the prosecution, dude, man, at least one extension getting filed. But then also think about this, is like, going through 52 terabytes of evidence, what's the likelihood of them coming across enough evidence to where the defense is like, hey, maybe you should go ahead and accept a plea deal? You know what I mean? Because you're cooked, bro. You know what I mean? So is that a possibility? Could that happen? I mean, and crazier things have happened, right? Crazier things have happened. And then obviously too, with the defense having him plead silent like that, it just feels like they left the door open for, hey, just in case we're extra screwed and you don't want to die, capital punishment, Maybe we should, yeah, just keep that door open and just keep, possibilities there. So that's how I'm feeling about the whole hearing today and the outcome of that. And man, outside of that, I don't really. There's not really much more to talk about on the hearing. You know what I mean? Like we got a couple dates to deal with, like some housekeeping type stuff, the gag order, and then here October comes. Like unless there's extensions, it's on. Your game on. So yeah, that was the hearing. Now let's talk about this Dateline special because, man, this Dateline special, all it did, I mean, we got a couple kernels of information that we didn't know before, which, awesome. And some of those kernels of information kind of lined up with some of the things that we were already thinking, you know what I mean? And yeah, like let's jump into one of the crazy ones, right? So we're getting, I guess, some type of confirmation that this dude did buy a K bar at one point. And then like this gentleman also had in the past possibly broke into a female's apartment that he knew to move things around to cause her to be freaked out to where he can offer his help installing some video cameras, some security cams and stuff. So that was pretty interesting, right? And then also we're finding out, in the affidavit and all the information that's been released, that this dude had two IDs of women that weren't the victims. Was that gained through access of other women's apartments, like this lady he helped with the security cams? Is it just that, or are those IDs connected to a previous murder? Like, I don't know, man. I'm still torn on that. It's like we have cases that were, out of like Oregon and stuff where there was similar murders that had taken place that people speculate that, he could have done, even though the time frame doesn't really match up with him moving out there. And then some people think maybe he's, connected to stuff from his home state, as far as murders. But those IDs, it's like either they're trophies from murders that he already committed, or they're trophies from, B&E voyeurism type deal where he gained access to a woman's house and then, took the IDs. To me, it's pretty much one of those two things. I don't see like what other option those would be. Like, oh, he just randomly found them on the street or something. No, he's stolen one way or another. Just what are the circumstances surrounding him, receiving those things. So that was pretty interesting. So we got what the video camera situation, the ID situation, and then dude, crazy. What I thought was crazy is the fact that a lot of us have speculated that his family had to have like thought, or at least had some type of idea or suspicion, you know what I mean, that he was involved. And then it's coming out that, yeah, the family did. At least one of the sisters did. It was like, hey, like, he was in the area, drives that vehicle, and then this fool won't stop wearing latex gloves. It was like red flags for her. She kind of knew. And they're saying that, that the family had looked into his vehicle, but didn't find anything. So it looks like we were right on that one, right? And it sounds like there's a possibility that his dad did, like, hey, let me come out there and let's drive back. And then the way his dad was acting when they got pulled over, two times in those body cams, it did make a lot of us like, hey, maybe they know something. And it seems like, I guess they did. They didn't know for a fact, but they had their, they had their speculation on it, and they had their curiosity, and they were right. It's man. And what else is crazy too is like, how do you deal with that as his family? You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of us are like, a lot of people are deep off in the why do you do it, how do you do it, what he's connected to, all that stuff. But it's like, man, you ever stop and really think like, man, how do you deal with that as his family? You know what I mean? Like, as his mother, as his father, it's like, as his sisters, like looking at all the evidence against him, like that we know of. Like, how do you deal with that? How do you support your child through something when it's like I don't know if it could. Obviously, we have to assume he's innocent, trial, all that, rights and yes. But like, let's be real. How do you look at all that evidence and all those connections as his family and like still support, still support him when? Come on, dude. To really believe him that he did not do this, that's like some next level blind faith, that you would have to have in your family member. It's like you'd have to like ignore like all rationale to support them. I don't know, man. That's crazy to me. That part right there just kind of blows me away. But yeah. I mean, they gotta know, right? Sister knows. They gotta know. They gotta be talking about it like, man, we have to support him. He's your brother. He's your, whatever. But they gotta know. But yeah, I stopped thinking about that a lot. I'm just like, man, that is gotta be insane. I'm a father, so it's like if one of my kids was in that situation, which I don't see that ever happening, but I don't know. How do you deal with that, dude? How do you deal with that? Yeah. But I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Think about that. Yeah, because I mean, I really don't have much more to throw in there. That's pretty much it. The hearing, we talked about that. The Dateline special, some of the things that were interesting in that we talked about that. But I want to know what y'all think and feel about the hearing today, about the Dateline special. Let me know down in the comments. Has your opinions changed on this case at all? I mean, with everything that we know or is coming out now, like, what do you guys think? I'm anxious to hear it. So, yeah, if you could take the time, hit me up down in those comments. But other than that, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I hope you guys have an amazing Monday night. It's your boy, the Piscine Predator. And until next video, much love, y'all. Peace.